From Lake Mississippi to Big Green and everything in between, we're talking about what's happening in your hometown. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Well, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Hometown Today here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. We are also on Daily Dodge TV on YouTube. We'll have various graphics for the couple of groups that we have on the programming today. Hometown Today is presented to you by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. They are at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. You can go to proflr.com, or you can call Randy and the team up at 920-887-9972. 12 months, interest-free, all flooring on the store. We'll let you know all about the benefits of going to Professional Floor Covering. Also presented to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings. They stock a large selection of picture frame moldings and conservation mattings and glass. I mean, there's plenty there. You get your needlework done, family photos, wedding pictures, oil paintings, award certificates, jerseys as we're wrapping up the spring sports season and rolling into fall. Lots of opportunities at both Pro Floor Covering and McKinstry's Home Furnishings. Let's preview the hour. We do have the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater Telltale Series, Grease. A couple of members from there are rolling in for the 60th anniversary season of the BDACT. We'll have the director and Amy Friedel and a pair of students in Corey Gaylord and Liam Garcia Chavez here to preview everything going on with Grease, a very family-friendly version, and we'll kind of key you in more on that. In a 10 o'clock hour, we will have a couple of members from the Beaver Dam Recreation Department on to tell us all of the happenings of Dodge County. There's the Milwaukee Zoo, plenty of tickets coming up there, a couple opportunities for Brewers tickets, plenty going on just down the road in Wisconsin Dells as well. Plenty to look forward to today between 9 and 11. We'll step aside and then we'll introduce a couple of members of the BDACT ahead of Telltale Grease. This is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It's Randy from Professional Floor Covering, bringing you Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And we welcome you back to Hometown Today on this wonderful Tuesday here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge, presented to you by both Professional Floor Covering, Randy and the team are helping you get your floor and so much more up to speed, and McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful downtown Beaver Dam. We roll into our first segment in our first hour with a couple of members from the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater ahead of a Telltale production in Greece. We have Amy Friedel, the director, Cora Gaylord, and Liam Garcia Chavez, a couple of talents between the grades of 6 to 8. Welcome to Daily Dodge TV and, of course, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. I was just told this is during your rehearsal, so thank you to all three of you for taking the time to jump on here today.
Thank you to my production team for not letting 45 other middle schoolers tear down the community theater.
I was going to say, I will not shame you for having the phone nearby just to make sure nothing goes wrong. If you have to take a call, I'll let you run right behind me and take care of business there. But I appreciate all three of you coming on, both Amy, Cora, and Liam. Huge production coming up in just 9 days now, so hopefully that doesn't make you panic. But July 18th through the 20th at the Campa Auditorium. The show starts at 7 o'clock. Book, music, and lyrics are by Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey. And again, the talent between grades 6 and 8. In general, I guess I just kind of want to start out before we dive into the play itself. How did each of you get involved in theater, and how have you grown since then in the theater department?
Well, I'm the old lady here,
Yep,
so
okay.
I've been doing theater since freshman year of high school,
Okay.
And I've been directing or assistant directing or doing something behind the scenes with theater for just over 30 years now. So I've lost count of how many shows, but been doing this for a while. Every once in a while I make it on stage, but it's got to be the right timing and the right role. So, but I've been helping with Beaver Dam Area Community Theater since my oldest daughter was in 3rd grade, and she was part of the Telltale program. So I started helping Judy Pierce the next year, and I've been sticking around ever since.
That's awesome. Well, since your freshman year of high school, when you originally got involved, what kind of gave you the bug or the itch to stick around and stay involved in theater in some capacity?
I love the fact that you could kind of take on a new identity and be someone different, try out different, personalities, so to speak, or different versions of yourself. Although I joke with the kids that not everybody's made for a lead all the time. I played the chaperone in The Drowsy Chaperone a couple years ago on our stage, but my first role was a sleeping police officer as a freshman, and I did nothing. And I asked my director, could I at least snore or something? And he said, let's see how well you sleep first.
Right. Baby steps.
Yeah. I did nothing but sleep while a house was being robbed. It was a ridiculous show. So
The lacking off police officer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, Cora, how did you get involved, and maybe some recent productions you've been in?
So this is actually the first musical I've ever been in.
Awesome, congrats.
Yeah. And I kind of got involved because everyone in my family has been theatrically involved at some point. Like, I know my dad was in several productions in school, and my mom helps out with the theater a lot, and my brother's done several productions, so I kind of wanted to get involved in that too and just see what it's like.
Yeah, so there was kind of that interest there. You're like, okay, everyone around me's doing it. Let me see what all this is about before I go off to high school.
I wanted to experience being in theater to see if it was something I wanted to pursue in the future or just take up on the side.
But you're also a dancer, right? So theater adjacent experience.
Gotcha. How long have you been dancing for?
10 years.
Okay, so you've got a very experienced background there, and I'm sure that transfers over into theater a little bit too. That's awesome. And then Liam, how'd you get your start, and how are rehearsals going for you so far?
Well, I started doing theater when I was young, 2018. My first show was The Jungle Book, and I was just one of those little wolves. What was the other question?
Oh yeah, just how would you say rehearsals are going for you as we're about, I guess, a little over a week away from the debut?
I mean, this year I was surprised that I got Danny. So, what happened? My mom sent the email. She took a screenshot to my dad. And when I saw the screenshot, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Top 3 moment right there, right?
Exactly. So
awesome.
then I realized I gotta lock into rehearsals. So now I feel like I've been working. I feel like I've been working a lot. While my mom, on the other hand, she's like, "Ooh, Liam."
Making sure you're doing enough, keeping you on track. And then, so you're Danny. Cora, who's your character?
I play Sandy Dombrowski.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. So you guys are 9 days out from that first performance. It's the 18th through the 20th. Shows are going to start at 7 o'clock. What phase of rehearsal, and I apologize if this is like an ignorant question, I don't have too much of a theater background, but so I was in band, and I know like when it was about a week-ish out, you're kind of polishing things. Is that fair to say in the theater world?
What do you guys think? I know what I think, but
Yeah, I'd say we've started running the whole show in one rehearsal.
Sure. Okay.
Like to work out all the little things and to see if we can get everything to flow together smoothly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I guess that could be considered some sort of polishing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so, because I feel like, I'll just make the analogy here from band, like, when we were starting out, we would grab, let's say it's a 96 measure, like a 2-minute song, we'll go there. We would grab, like, 4 measures and just hammer them home, and then tomorrow is another 4, and then tomorrow's another 4. Is that kind of how it goes in theater in terms of developing the entire play? You're really focusing on different segments until you get to where you are now, and you're running through the whole thing?
Well, I can speak. Every director handles things a little bit differently.
Sure.
How I tend to run things, and I've learned a lot from assisting Mark Lefebvre with productions over the last few years, is we piece out the rehearsal schedule. So we really take a scene, just the kids who need to be in that scene, and hone in on that, and work through blocking, and work through acting, and all the things. And so it feels very disjointed, I would think, from the kids' standpoint, until all of a sudden we're like, hey, we're going to run all of Act 1. And then the kid's like, oh, this song comes next.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what order anything is in. And then, yeah, like Cora said, running the whole show now, except yesterday we had to do things backwards, but running the whole show in theory, putting everything together. The biggest challenge we have right now is we're still adding set pieces because we're sharing the stage with, we were waiting for Anastasia to finish. We're sharing the stage with Nemo, who runs this week, and what Seussical needs for their upcoming shows, and so we're kind of awkward middle child fitting in and trying to make everybody happy or feeling forgotten or whatever analogy you want to take for that. We're still adding big set pieces to the stage and finding room around coral and an undersea world from
Absolutely.
Nemo. So
how is that turnaround in terms of when all the set pieces are supposed to be in place, or when you expect them to be in place, and the 18th? Is it pretty short between the 2 dates?
Sunday.
Okay, gotcha. That's something.
That's quick. Yep. So Nemo runs until Saturday, and then all of their things are gone, and then we can really settle in.
And it's grease mode.
And then it's grease mode for a week, and then we're done. And then Seussical moves in Sunday.
Okay. You did emphasize to me before we turned the mics on today here that this is different from most versions of Grease, more family friendly. Could you kind of dive into that a little bit?
Yeah. So Jim Jacobs, Warren Casey wrote the original Grease. And so I like the idea that they knew what needed to be taken out to make it school version family friendly. And so they've rewritten it. When I read it the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cheesy. Oh, it's so cheesy. They're talking about holding hands. This is so cheesy. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Taking out the language. There's one little part where you think the girl's gonna swear and she doesn't, and a little bit of audience will know what's supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. Adult audience will know what's supposed to be there, but it's not. A lot of the innuendo is gone, and nobody's comfy watching 12-year-olds act like that.
Yeah, more subtle. Right?
Yeah.
More
We even have one
right?
scene that we've cheese balled up a little bit, right?
No, don't.
We're not
Are
going
we
to
allowed
talk
to
about
dive into that? I can just let people be surprised.
Maybe you just have to
too.
come to the show
Okay,
and see.
There we
yeah,
go. That's a
yeah.
good plug.
Say it's more than a little bit cheesed up.
Oh, sure.
You'll see.
And in terms of those who they're interested, they're reeled in, they want to go watch between the 18th and the 20th, how can they go about buying their tickets and getting there?
Absolutely. So you can buy tickets on BDACT.org. It's pretty easy to do that. Or our box office is open Tuesdays and Thursdays 10 to 4. Or you can just come up to the door and hope that they're not all sold out from underneath you.
Awesome. We'll go with the 2 talents here. Cora, we'll start with you with your character that you're playing. What is the toughest part of kind of channeling that persona?
I guess with Sandy, she's a lot more naive, and she kind of she acts really innocent, I guess. And I think that was one of the hardest parts about playing this character, because even though we do have like similar personalities, the way she acts and interacts with people is a lot different than how I do.
And then what about you,
Yeah.
Liam?
For me, because Danny's more of a tough guy,
Right.
while me, on the other hand, I'm more of like the jokester guy. So I had to learn how to like switch up my personality a bit for this character. And I would say that's the most difficult thing about it. Trying to find out like what I need to change to like make sure I got everything down so I'm ready for the show.
Be more assertive version of yourself, right? Yeah. It's like, does that take a while for each of you? We'll go back to you, Cora. Like just being able to kind of turn into that person and be comfortable in that new skin, if you will.
I mean, I'd say it wasn't too difficult considering, like, again, I share a lot of the same personality traits.
Sure.
It's just trying to, like, trying to figure out how I should react to certain situations, I guess.
Okay.
I don't really have any words for that.
You're good. Plead the fifth. No, that's okay. That's completely fine. So yeah, I would say definitely a lot to look forward to. Obviously, the performance right here in town. Oh, we do have to take our first break here at 9:20. So this is Hometown Today. We do have a couple of members of the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater on ahead of the Telltale series Grease coming up in just 9 days. You can go to BDACT.com to purchase the tickets. Otherwise, are people able to just go right up to the booth and purchase day of as well? Or
Yes.
At the performance?
Yep.
Awesome. So also an option if you don't want to do that ahead of time. Still have to figure out your plans. But we will step aside here on Hometown Today, presented to you by Professional Floor Covering, Your Floor, and so much more, and McKinstry's Home Furnishings. This is 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Always be together.
is Randy from Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Why, this car is automatic. It's systematic. It's high.
And welcome back to Hometown Today here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Also on Daily Dodge TV on YouTube. You can hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications as well to figure out what's going on every time we go live from 9 to 11. Of course, we have community comment and our paid programming as well. Sports in the afternoon. Lots happening in the YouTube world. This is Hometown Today, presented to you by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more on 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. You can go to proflr.com or call Randy and his team at 920-887-9972. Also, a huge thank you to McKinstry's Home Furnishings. You'll be amazed at the low everyday prices. You can get your needlework done there, family photos, framing, wedding pictures, oil paintings, wildlife prints, and award certificates, and so much more there at McKinstry's. We are promoting and talking about another edition of the Telltale series for Grease, a Telltale production. It's the 50th year for Telltales and then 60th for the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. I am here with director Amy Friedel, Cora Gaylord, and Liam Garcia Chavez. So really just like a huge anniversary, I guess, time of year. Looking back at 50 years for Telltale and then 60 for BDACT, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm. That's a very long time. We recently, our July newsletter that came out at the beginning of the month for BDACT, our managing director, David Allen Smith, wrote the history of the Telltale program. He actually is a product of some Telltale programming in his youth. And it's great to see how it has grown over the years. What started with Beaver Dam Community Theater, before it was an area community theater all those years ago. Now we have kids in Greece from 7 different schools, all the way from Sun Prairie to Watertown and regional schools.
Area.
It's a big area, yeah. I don't know if that's the title that brought you out. You're from Sun Prairie. Was it the title?
I mean, kind of.
Okay.
I just wanted like the experience of doing that.
Yeah.
And since Grease was a show that I'd already seen, I'd seen like the high school version. I guess I wanted to do something I was a bit more familiar with.
Sure. Yeah, and it's pretty cool to see that our program has grown so much over the years, and 50's something to celebrate. So
Absolutely, there's definitely some longevity there. And Amy, how would you kind of describe how Telltale Productions has served the community, both from those who want to go and attend and consume theater, and those like Cora and Liam who want to join?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I can speak to both of those as a mom.
Yeah.
So, like I mentioned, my oldest was a theater kid, started in 3rd grade, and just the experience that she had, her lifelong friends started in theater. She's standing up in a wedding in a couple weeks from
That's
a
awesome.
theater friend, and lifelong friends, and just the confidence that it built in her, and watching kids develop skills, develop public speaking skills, interrelational things, like learning how to get along in any setting. That's a theater skill. You have to be able to get along with everybody on stage. And just the opportunity that it provides for community members to come out and support these young actors on stage is huge. Not only for our community members and rallying behind them, but for these kids to a couple of them last week said, "Come on, you guys, people are going to spend their money to watch us act like this. We have to do a good job."
Straight into the point. I love it. I mean, that is about as blunt as it gets.
Yeah. That's Gen Z for you.
That's
right?
awesome. That is awesome. So, Liam, there was a photo montage and some videos on there. I saw you in a couple of them, and I just saw like both of you really laughing a lot. What can you all, we'll start with you, Liam, kind of say about the family-like atmosphere? I know it's a cliche, but it does seem like you guys are a pretty close-knit group.
I would say some of us didn't know each other at first. Like for me and Cora, for instance. But
I didn't
now
know anyone.
But now we're like, hey, what's up? So I feel like the more we got into practices, the more we had to talk to each other's character. Like, say for instance, like Kaniki and Betty Rizzo. They didn't know each other, but since they started talking during Telltale, during their parts on stage, they started actually talking to each other off stage. So now I feel like a lot of us, we get along really easily, and the more we get along, I feel like, the better the show will be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, anytime you have a team in any capacity and you're all working towards the same goal, I mean, so rehearsals are 9 to 12 Monday to Friday. That's 15 hours a week. You guys are all getting to know each other very, very well. Cora, what would you say about the family-like atmosphere? And I think Liam just kind of said, and you said too, you didn't know a whole lot of people, if anyone, coming into it. How has that changed the last few weeks?
I think it's changed like kind of a lot because a lot of people knew each other from like their schools or like just living in the Beaver Dam area, which I don't. So like coming here was kind of an interesting experience because I had to learn like I associate faces easier than names. So I kind of had to learn like the character parts first and then their actual names. Yeah. I think that's actually kind of helped me, and I am starting to learn like the names and personalities of everyone who's in there. So
that's an interesting challenge, right? Because you're kind of jumping into a new pool of people, and not only do you have to learn their stage name, in this case, you have to learn their real name too, and then you get to know them, right?
And I usually get a little mom brain on them and call them by both. I'm like, Liam, Sandy, no, Cora, Danny, wait, no, who? I don't know, you with the hair.
I'm sure it makes it so easy for you now that everyone has two names, right? Yeah.
That's the thing. You've done that before. You called out to somebody, and you're like, you with the hair. Everybody was confused.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember.
I wonder how long that's going to stick around following a play. Like, are you going to refer to someone as maybe their name in a certain play, 1, 2, 3 weeks after that play concludes? Has that happened before?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. It's just how the brain works, right?
Yeah.
So rehearsals are 9 to 12 from Monday to Friday. There's obviously a lot of frequency there. When did you guys start rehearsing for Grease?
We started right after Beaver Dam School District was done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it was the week of June 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, that first Monday we started right away, and we were missing a couple kids because Watertown and Sun Prairie weren't out yet. But we've always gone by the school district calendar. So.
Okay.
Yep.
So about a 6-week period. Is that pretty typical for the majority of plays, or does it matter? Like if there's a real monster of a play, you better dedicate 8 or 10 or 12 weeks. How does that process work?
It's a little bit tight for a musical.
Sure.
So I've been directing for over 30 years, but this is my first musical I've directed, and so many moving parts. So hitting up my director friends a lot, like, wait, is this normal? Should I do this? Am I doing this right? How am I failing? What do I need to know? And it's a little bit tight for my first foray at directing a musical. 6 weeks is a little tight. I help with the high school one, and that lasts 10 weeks, I think. But we're also dealing with high school kids who have to travel again a lot farther and after school hours and things.
And then I'm sure you kind of have to field not the obstacle, but there's definitely conflicts with scheduling if you have I'm sure you have actors who are in spring sports, and then they kind of have to get up to speed maybe a week or two later. As a director, how do you go about catching those individuals up to speed without holding the rest of the group back?
So that's the beauty of technology. Because I know last week we were missing, 5 people to scout camp? 5 or 6 people to scout camp, and we lose them. But we've taken videos of our choreo lessons, and our vocal coach has recorded vocal parts, so we do lots in a Google Drive.
That's awesome.
And we tell them ahead of time, like, look, this is going to be there, so you've got to practice in the car
on
your way back.
Practice in your room, practice in the car.
Exactly.
Whatever that may be. Cora and Liam, Cora, we'll start with you. Are you doing a decent amount of rehearsing? Hopefully this isn't putting you on the spot, but like outside of rehearsals, or are you going through it like in the room or in the car on the way there? How much is this really like living in your head leading up to the performance?
I have been doing a lot of line practice outside of rehearsal because, like I said, my family is theatrically involved, and they very much encourage practicing my lines. So, yeah, we'll just sit around a table or something, and my mom and brother will have the script, and they'll read everyone else's lines, and I'll try to remember my lines, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Really just ingraining it in the brain until it's second nature and you don't even think about it, right? All right, Liam, what about you?
I would say so. I would say that I'm doing a pretty good job at least. Cause my mom, she has a night shift. She goes to work at night. Then sometimes I'm home alone. Sometimes my dad is here. And then once he starts falling asleep, I just close my door in my room and I lock myself in there. It's just Because there's this little show, the actual Grease musical that I can look up on YouTube. and I go along with the video to help me try to practice the lines. Like I did that last night as well too.
Good. Very
and,
good.
And another thing, in the car, cause we can Bluetooth like my mom's phone to the car, so every time I just yank it from her because it's already connected to the car. So I start scrolling through YouTube and I start looking up like some of the songs that we have, and then my mom, she's just like, okay, but I don't want you playing any musical music. I've heard too much of that from you already.
We gotta lean off that for a little bit, right? Yeah. That's awesome. Well, that's a cool like modern solution. Just Bluetoothing it up and then playing it in the car, and you go from there and just learn the lines. I like that.
Play it in your sleep.
Condition yourself. You
Yeah,
wake up
yeah,
to it. You're like, I'm ready. I'm wired. All right, we will take our second break here on Hometown Today. We do have Amy Friedel, Corey Gaylord, and Liam Garcia Chavez from the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater ahead of a Telltale production. It's Grease from July 18th through the 20th. On all 3 of those days, the production starts at 7. You can go to the Beaver Dam Area Community website, or, of course, you can buy tickets at the door. This is Hometown Today, presented to you by Professional Floor Covering, your floor and so much more, and McKinstry's Home Furnishings here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It's Randy from Professional Floor Covering, making sure you don't miss what's happening in your hometown. It's Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And we welcome you back to Hometown Today. You're on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge, and Daily Dodge TV on our YouTube channel. We are presented to you by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. Randy and his team over there at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam are here to help you. You can go to proflr.com or call the number 920-887-9972. If we're talking showers, there's cultured marble walk-in showers, there's tiled showers. You can customize pretty much everything for kitchen designs, draw it up so you can look at it. You are essentially the interior designer. They're just placing things for you and helping be a guiding light along the way. Get what you want. It's clean, be comfortable, enjoy it. The same goes for countertops and the likes there. And McKinstry's Home Furnishings. Make sure you hit them up for your needlework, family photos, framing, your wedding pictures, your oil paintings, wildlife prints. Best of all, you will be amazed at the low everyday prices. I do have Amy Friedel, Cora Gaylord, and Liam Garcia Chavez, all from the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater, ahead of a Telltale production. Grease on here for about 15 more minutes. It's been fun, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, of course. Amy, you did hint at this before. Oh, I'd love for you to dive into it a little bit more, and I can pass it around as well. Social skills, in terms of acting at a younger age and interacting with a pretty large group, taking on that persona, especially as a mom, I'm sure you've seen it as well. How does being in theater help with those social skills?
I would say middle school especially is incredibly difficult. If you remember, middle school years were tough, right? They're the worst. And in the thick of it, middle school students are pretty convinced that everybody's watching them. And here they go on stage where, in fact, everyone is watching them.
It's true, yep.
But to get up there and to pretend like nobody's watching you and pretend you're someone else while deep down inside you know they're still watching you is really, really hard. And so really trying to encourage kids to take on a different character, take on a different persona, pretend you're someone else, and let your guard down a little bit. Takes a lot for middle school kids, for anybody really, but I think especially middle school kids to be able to learn how to do. And I don't know, I don't know if you guys would know if like any of those skills, if that transfers into real life, if you're able to like let your guard down a little bit when you're with, in real life settings or not. I'd like to think that at some point a little bit of theater shows up in your everyday life and you're like, oh, I don't have to worry about this. I can just do what I'm going to do and not have to worry that everybody's watching. So
yeah. Cora, would you say you kind of relate to that? I know it's a smaller sample size with you just joining, but about 5 weeks into rehearsal, getting ready for a big play, would you say it's kind of helping bring you out of a shell, or not too much of a difference yet?
I'd say there's not too much of a difference.
Yeah.
But I think I have done like some subtle acting just in general when I interact with people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. Just like little day-to-day interaction things. What about you, Liam?
Honestly, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I would say every day that, it doesn't even matter what time of the day it is. I have to do one little part. I have to do something involving theater. If it's just a random song that just pops up in my head or something, I gotta do it. And that's all, really.
It's kind of in your everyday life a little bit. For sure, for sure. We did kind of hint at it before, and it's totally up to all three of you on how much you want to dive into it, because I know you kind of want to encourage people to come and watch the play as well from July 18th through the 20th. Start times at 7. You can buy on the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater website, or you can buy right at the show before it starts at 7. But could we kind of hear just a little bit of the story of Sandy and the story of Danny, kind of some of their characteristics and just who they are? We can start with Danny.
I would say that Danny is more like the cool dude. I don't know if this is this is Danny. He's like a chick magnet, I would say.
Yeah. I've seen the play.
And he's pretty stylish, and I would say so too, because I got the Thunderbird pin.
Oh, okay, so you're like really channeling that persona. You're going the whole way.
Oh, yeah. So, I would say that, me, myself in general, I don't wear a lot of those clothes. I just wear shorts, t-shirt, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Just plain simple. But Danny, I feel like he's going all out. He's like,
For those of you watching on or not watching on Daily Dodge TV, Liam just slicked his hair back, I think. So, what does the wardrobe for Danny look like? Like, what can we expect you to be wearing 18, 19, and 20th of July?
you would probably be seeing me wearing like a lot of just like jeans, a white t-shirt, and especially the leather jacket.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and make sure to watch out for the grease back.
So, I feel like he's looking forward to that, like secretly.
He's talking himself into
Yeah,
it
right.
because I keep saying, anytime you want to start slicking your hair back,
Yeah, start to train
you do
it.
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cora for Sandy. Who is Sandy? I know you were talking before about how you both kind of have similar personalities. And then what could we expect to see from Sandy wardrobe-wise?
I'd say she's pretty I think she kind of comes from like a richer family.
Sure.
She's like the new kid in town. She acts like an only child.
Yeah.
Because she's really trusting of people, and she tries to stay out of conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say she's pretty like girly girl. Yeah.
We've done a lot of work digging into characters and how they're different from you and how they're similar from you and
Yeah.
across the
Yeah.
board. So yeah,
We did a whole
Yeah, I would
entire
agree with that.
warm up about that.
we did.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was me and the other greasers, Danny, Duty, Roger, Nicky. It was all of us. So
Sonny.
oh shoot, Sonny, my bad. You just sat us down one time on the stage and you're like, okay, we're gonna talk about how your character is different from yourself. And we did like a whole entire warm up of that. And it was just like,
Pink Ladies did the same thing.
I know. like right after we were done, she pulled you guys up right away.
Well, and Amy, that's important, right? Like teaching everyone who's taking on a new persona who that person is before they play them. Otherwise, they're just going to go up and be themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finding the parts that are we talked about this the personality traits in your character that are similar to you are easy to act. The hard work comes in acting like someone that's different from you. So they've done a really good job figuring out how to react and how to respond in situations and to other scenarios happening on stage, and they're doing a good job. So. And we're not going to, back to your wardrobe question, we're not, yes, Sandy sticks in pretty demure yellows and calm colors. We're not going to tell you at the end, though.
For sure. Yeah. No, 100%. We won't spoil it. That is why, everybody listening on 95.3 WBEV or watching on Daily Dodge TV, go witness it. July 18th, 19th, 20th. Show is going to start at 7. You've got a lot of talented individuals, including the ones on the screen there, as if you're watching Daily Dodge TV. Definitely a lot to look forward to. Amy, would you be able to kind of pick out a certain part of, from the last 5 weeks of rehearsals of the play that you think was maybe a little harder for this group to master, and then maybe something that you were like, oh, they got that a lot quicker than I thought?
In the last few days, as we've been adding, if you're watching video, you can see the platforms behind us, and those just entered the stage this last Monday. And we've just entered, we just brought in our Grease Lightning car. I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about that.
Okay.
And new pieces. And I think that the thing that the kids have done that have really impressed me is how quickly they've adapted to their surroundings. We have blocked scenes. We have done things on stage for the last 6 weeks like normal. And then a giant piece of furniture comes into the place and they're like, oh, we'll just go this way now.
Yeah.
And just how quickly they've adapted. And most of them have just stayed in character and like, okay, we're going up this way now. And, we're having a whole cafeteria scene and we haven't had tables yet. But they're working it. They're figuring it out. And just how quickly they're adapting and working together and cooperating and understanding that we've got a lot of shows happening in a small space in a short time frame. And they're just picking it up as we go, and it's pretty great.
Well, that's a big change, right? Sure, the lines are the same as they were yesterday, but all of a sudden you walk in and, like you said, maybe there's 2 or 3 different backdrops or there's huge pieces of furniture.
Yes.
You're not walking that same route anymore.
Exactly.
You better go around it, otherwise you're tripping, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Just kind of like getting that muscle memory to adapt to a new environment.
Yeah, and it's all layers. Every day it's a new layer. Like, okay, now you knew this. You're still acting the same. You're still saying the same, but I need you to go a different door. And sometimes it trips us up, but for the most part, they've adapted really well.
What do all 3 of you think, and we'll start with you, Amy, of just the time period and it being acted out? And so it's the 50s, right?
It is the 50s. We're saying 50s. We don't know the exact year.
Right.
And in the reunion, we're saying 20-ish years
Okay.
later. We're trying to really tap into that. And one of the things I do when I work with theater is really try and tap into the time period so that we're not doing anything, like we said. We can't do the Macarena to the song Grease Lightning. We're not doing the gritty on stage because that wasn't a thing in the 1950s.
Hey, that was
You
good.
can't adapt that
That's
in
true.
there.
We can't do that in there. No, but we spent some time researching 1950s dance moves so that when
Sure.
they're in the dance, they're doing the swim or they're doing the twist or they're doing time appropriate things. Our choreographers Deanna and Ella that's another thing I should talk about. Have done a really great job in teaching time-appropriate moves and things. We're also trying to incorporate some 1950s slang
I was just going to say the vernacular's kind
Yep.
of adapted. Okay.
into there a little bit. We're not high-fiving because that wasn't a popular thing until 1977.
Really?
Yep. So we do a little research to see what we can actually get away with and looks time period appropriate. And so we'll finger gun and we'll thumbs up, but we're not really high-fiving. So
Okay.
yeah.
There was a page passed out, a double-sided page just covered
You're
in
welcome.
50s slang.
There we go. Vocab.
Yeah, having kids like pick a few things that you're going to use because even if you're a backstage or back behind the scenes ensemble character, you're using this and it contributes to your character.
Backseat bingo.
Have either of you taken any slang home from the 50s, or does it stay on the stage for the most part?
I mean, I don't use slang a lot just in general,
Okay.
so
All the above.
All the above. Every bit of it. Those are two polar opposite answers.
Yep.
I love every bit of it. That's awesome.
also I'm pretty sure on the back of the script it does say year of class of 59.
Okay. All right.
So late 50s
There we
there.
go, yeah.
What kind of feedback are you guys getting from audiences? Obviously, this play hasn't happened yet, but Amy, past plays, just about having, like you were talking about, all the way from Sun Prairie to Watertown and everywhere in between, obviously up north to Beaver Dam too. Like, what kind of feedback are you getting from audiences that there's this huge, youthful community putting on plays?
Probably the most recent feedback I've gotten was from our cast of Anastasia, because that also had a big draw this year from schools we've never had before.
Okay.
Our Grease production has 7 schools represented. Anastasia had, I think, 13, and new schools to us. And I started asking some of the kids once I got to know them, like, did you come up here? Why did you come to this show? And some of them said the title drew them, but some of them said, well, the experience up here in Beaver Dam, the community theater that we have, the community we've built in the theater is second to none. And some of those high school kids have said, we wanted to be here because we've heard about the reputation of the high school program. I've heard feedback from adults who watch the stage saying, I can't believe those are middle school kids doing that. I can't believe these are high school kids doing that.
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah, and just like, wow, they're really impressive. And I think it's a big testament too that a lot of these, like my production team, except for my producers, my whole production team are teenagers. And they're coming up alongside our set builder, just graduated high school. Our choreographers are recent graduate and recent sophomore. And just that next generation and high school kids who grew up maybe in Telltale when they were younger and now want to invest in and come back and teach the next generation and just carry that up. Really proud of that, and I love seeing these kids want to come back and want to invest in the community that kind of raised them.
And those are all signs of a program that's going 60 years strong in terms of the BDACT and 50 years in terms of Telltale. You have the full circle moments where you have high school students coming back to help. You have a reputation that precedes this place where, individuals from maybe 15, 20, 30 miles away are saying, I want to be involved in that. That's awesome
Absolutely,
stuff.
yeah, it's pretty exciting. So.
We unfortunately just have about a minute or two to go, so I just want to, sneak in one final call to action. Amy, where can individuals find tickets, whether it be at the event or online? And what would you also say to maybe a parent or a child out there who wants to get involved in some capacity?
If you want to get involved, come and watch a show and start watching around different things that you could do. Notice the sets and how they're built and how they're painted. Watch what the ensemble's doing. Watch what the leads are doing, and start. Kids don't have to just always be the first, center spotlight. There are lots of areas of theater to help with, and just come and watch what everybody's doing.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate all three of you coming on, Amy, Cora, and Liam. July 18th through the 20th, show's going to start at 7. It is a Telltale production, Grease. It's a well-oiled machine. That's kind of a pun, right? That works a little bit.
Yeah.
Well-greased machine, somewhere in there.
Machine.
Yeah. We're trying. But that's, it's a program that's been around for 60 years, and the Telltale Productions, they're going on, 5 decades now. So definitely highly recommend that you go and check that out. But Amy, Cora, and Liam, thank you all so much for coming on today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
yeah.
I will let all three
Come
of you
see
get
the
back to rehearsal. 2 hours of rehearsal left,
Oh,
right?
yes,
Just
yes, we
about.
do.
Hopefully nothing's burned down yet. I think everything's gone smooth.
No
Your phone
texts.
hasn't gone
We're
off.
good. Yep.
Right. Well, this is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV. It's presented to you by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. Randy and the team at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam will take care of you. You can go to proflr.com or call their number up at 920-887-9972. Also, of course, McKinstry's Home Furnishings. They're your go-to for your needlework, your family photos, your oil paintings, your award certificates, framing wedding pictures, all of it for an amazing low everyday price. This is Hometown Today, second of 2 hours coming up here on 95.3 WBEV and Daily Dodge TV. Welcome to the 10 o'clock hour and happy Tuesday here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge and Daily Dodge TV on YouTube. Highly recommend you subscribe to us there. We're covering all your press conferences. We've got Hometown Today from 9 to 11 every single day. We do community comment from 12:30 until 1 or sometimes 1:30 depending on the day. Paid programming at 11:10 as well. And, in about a month, we'll be doing football, volleyball, all your fall sports. We'll have those on Daily Dodge TV as well. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for those post notifications as well. We roll into the 10 o'clock hour here on Hometown Today. A huge shout out to McKinstry's Home Furnishings. They are stocking a large selection of picture frame moldings and conservation mattings and glass. They are your go-to destination for your needlework, your family photos, your framing of wedding pictures, oil paintings, wildlife prints, award certificates. And best of all, you're going to be amazed at the low everyday prices. This is not going to break the bank. Let McKinstry's designers help you select just the right frame and matting to enhance the beauty of your artwork as well as your home. So not only are they helping you with that full interior design with the love seat, the ottoman, they're helping accent it with that artwork as well. And of course, a huge shout out to Professional Floor Covering. That's your floor and so much more over at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. It's proflr.com. You can call Randy and his team up at 920-887-9972. They've got the LVP. Carpet is back on sale. You can get what you would like. It's clean. It's everything you want. The top brands for every look and need throughout your home. And when it comes to kitchen designing, this is my favorite part, you can draw it up so you can look at it. So you're actually doing the structure, the design, the customizable portion. And then Randy and his team, they're very seasoned. They have the expertise. They're going to help you in terms of fine-tuning it and kind of being that guiding light. In the 10 o'clock hour, we are going to be welcoming Janice Stevens, an administrator, and Recreation Supervisor Joanne Hohenstein from the Beaver Dam Recreation Department. We will step aside for a brief break and welcome both of them on to hear about the happenings in and around the area of Dodge County. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
This is Randy, owner of Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
This is the 10 o'clock hour of Hometown Today here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Corey Sparks filling in for Amy Hudson today, and I have two new guests for the 10 o'clock hour. We have Jana Stevens, the administrator for the Beaver Dam Rec Department, and Recreation Supervisor Joan Hohenstein. Thank you both so much for taking an hour out of your day to jump on today.
Thanks for
Corey.
having us.
Yeah, it's great to see you both, and it looks nice outside right now. I know we were just talking about it. We might get our first rain in, oh my gosh, like 3 days today. It's been so long since we've had rain, because we need more of that, right?
Right.
Right. We've had a lot of it for sure. So for those who are listening on 95.3 WBEV or who are watching on Daily Dodge TV, and maybe it's one of their first times hearing about the Beaver Dam Rec Department, would one of you be comfortable with just kind of giving us a crash course on how you guys are serving the community and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
Sure.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, we like to say that we are the fun department of the
Awesome.
city of Beaver Dam. But seriously, we operate the Watermark. Our office is located at the Watermark in Beaver Dam, and the Watermark is a community center for all ages. We do offer many activities for older adults 50 and over at the Watermark throughout the week, but it's also a community center where we have special events and other activities for all ages. We also provide services for people of all ages, in addition to all the fun things that we do. We provide some very essential services like foot clinics, and we're the meal site for Dodge County in Beaver Dam. We partner with Dodge County Aging and Disability Resource Center to provide that for the community. Some people come in-house and eat at the Watermark, and others receive their meals delivered to them. So that's really an essential service for a lot of people. We manage Crystal Lake Beach. We also manage the park shelter reservations and other facility reservations, like ball diamonds and those types of facilities for the community. And we also provide and manage the watercraft rental at Waterworks Park.
Ooh, summertime.
So,
That's perfect.
yeah.
Kayaking, everything like that, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. See, I moved from a town of about 70,000 people over in Oshkosh. I moved here. Beaver Dam's about 15, 16. And one of my big worries was I want to make sure there are things to do here and that I don't have to leave here to do a lot. Well, we have the Chamber of Commerce. We've got events going on every week. And now we have a fun department that I'm learning about. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. We work very closely with the Parks Department. We
Gotcha.
are two separate departments, but we really work hand in hand, side by side, to offer all the Parks and Recreation programs, services, and activities for the community.
That is awesome. And speaking of parks and recreation, I see July is Park and Rec Month. And we kind of want to dive into the details behind that.
Yes, yeah. It was designated almost 40 years ago by the U.S. House of Representatives and has been going strong all that time. And the Beaver Dam Common Council has proclaimed July as Parks and Recreation Month in Beaver Dam. And so we highlight and celebrate all of the things that we do for the community. This year, the theme is Where You Belong. That celebrates the many ways that park and recreation professionals foster a sense of belonging for everyone in the community.
That is awesome. So really like the message of inclusion and making sure everyone's involved. And I do like how, even though you were talking about, there's different activities and the fun department name, you have those resources and you're working, conjoined kind of with the ADRC to provide people those essential needs. How would each of you, just to kind of go off script a little bit here, how would each of you say you've really come ingrained in the community by serving in this way?
Well, I've lived here over 25 years. I moved here to work for the city of Beaver Dam, and I've done a couple of other things in my career, but returned to work for the city of Beaver Dam about 7 years ago. And I feel really strongly and passionate about working in the community that I live in and serving the people that I live with. And there's just, for me, there's no better occupation. I started out in this career career as a part-time summer employee for the Monroe Parks and Recreation Department. I never imagined that it would become a career for me, but I saw all the opportunities and just all the different ways that you can serve the community and be part of things and shape things for the community.
Absolutely. And then what about you, Joan?
Well, the Recreation Department just offers so many variety of activities, and even just having the parks there that people can go and play on their own. And it's a great service because there's so many reports and studies show just how getting out in nature is healthy for people, and it's a way that people can get out and meet their neighbors and just build community in the parks. And we have such beautiful parks, many parks, and there's always, like you said, there's an activity, event going on almost every weekend. If you can't find something to do in Beaver Dam, you haven't looked.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's so much to do, so people can just get out and, communicate, play, get out and play.
Yeah, absolutely. Just enjoy the outdoors, especially while you can before we get, another rainstorm. But I see there are discounted attraction tickets. In general, it's the summer, it's almost mid-July, plenty of opportunities to get out and, enjoy the outdoors in general. What's behind these discounted attraction tickets, I guess?
So this program is made possible through the Wisconsin Parks and Recreation Association.
Awesome.
We are members of the Wisconsin Parks and Recreation Association as well as the National Recreation and Parks Association. So those are two important organizations that support us. And the ticket program is an opportunity not only for the community to purchase discounted tickets for different attractions in the Dells and the Milwaukee County Zoo, but we also get a little bit of a commission from the ticket sales to help support some things that aren't in our regular city budget. So, but lots of different opportunities, and they are on sale at the Recreation Department office at the Watermark through August 30th. However, a lot of the tickets are valid later in the season. So September, October, even December, I believe, for the Milwaukee County Zoo. So yeah, the Milwaukee County Zoo, those are valid through December 31st. So, but they are only available to purchase at our department until August 30th.
Gotcha. Through August 30th for that deadline. No, I know I see a lot of destinations through the Dells. There's Noah's Ark, there's Pirates Cove Adventure Golf, phenomenal mini golf course. I went with my family a couple of years ago. When did this partnership kind of start? Because it's mutually beneficial. Obviously, the city of Beaver Dam and its residents get these discounts, but then the Dells, they bring in new audiences that they might not have had before.
Yeah. Boy, I've been in this field for a long time, and I always remember it. I think at least 20, 30 years.
Sure.
So it's a long-standing partnership. So it's great. And I overheard someone just yesterday, a family came in to buy tickets, and they were just raving about the savings and the discount. So if people aren't familiar with this and are interested in any of these attractions, definitely check it out because the discounts are significant.
Yeah, that is awesome. And, I loved going to the Dells growing up. We were a couple of hours away. Now I'm in Beaver Dam, so I'm a lot closer, and the discounts on top of it. Is this a list that's pretty much the same every year, or can people expect to see, new businesses and new attractions kind of floating in and out of it year by year?
It's pretty consistent,
Okay.
but we do have a new one or two that come in and out each year. So.
Awesome. With it being July, with it being pretty hot out, we're getting those days in the low, mid, high 80s, almost touched 90 around the 4th for a bit there. Different water activities that people can kind of go around and enjoy. Can we kind of dive into those next?
Sure. Well, of course, we have the brand new Swan Park Splash Pad,
Awesome.
and if you have not been there, seen that, I definitely encourage you to head over to Swan Park. And it is busy all the time if the weather is good, and even if it isn't that good. There are people there enjoying it, people of all ages. I really do want to emphasize that this splash pad was added last year. It's intended for kids and adults, people of all ages, abilities, and you just hear screams and giggles and lots of laughter and fun at the Swan Park Splash Pad. It is open daily, and the hours are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
That is awesome. So new, what kind of went into, I guess, the planning of setting that up, and what location should we put it in, and all that good stuff?
Sure, that's a great question. So for years we had a wading pool at Swan Park, excuse me, but it was at the end of its life, and so it was time to do something different, and that space allowed for a splash pad, and a full-size pool would not have worked in that space due to it would have used up the whole park for parking and other things. So it's just a great addition, has lots of spray features, and if you look at our community center curry, you can see the picture of the bucket. It fills with water, and then it dumps and splashes on people, and that's always a thrill. But just a lot of very interactive features for that park. And so it's something that anybody any age can enjoy. And that was part of the Phase 1 renovation project for the Swan Park renovation project.
Gotcha. Are there any concrete ideas that are kind of on the horizon for Swan Park on top of the splash pad, or is it still too early to tell there?
Yes, actually, we are working in a phased a way to renovate the park. Several things have already happened. Improvements to the lagoons, the bridges, a water feature. Waterfall feature has been added, historical markers. There are many historical features in the park, and a walking path, a trail system around the park, and much of that has been done. A lot of grants, aids, fundraising. Over $3.5 million has been raised to support all of those changes, and we are just continuing to move forward with renovations. And the latest is focused on the band shell as well as the spring house. And the band shell and amphitheater area campaign is called Keep the Music Going.
That's awesome. So that's just a really great way, again, to kind of encourage individuals to get outside, enjoy their local community, because, not only are there things to do, but Swan Park is a prime example. Things are being renovated, they're being refreshed, and there are new activities to try out.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, we do have to step aside and take a quick break here on Hometown Today, presented to you by Professional Floor Covering and McKinstry's Home Furnishings. I'm Corey Sparks, alongside with the Beaver Dam Recreation Department. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Hey, it's Randy from Professional Floor Covering. You're listening to Hometown Today on the 5,000 watt flamethrower on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
This is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge, presented to you by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. Randy and his team are right over there at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. ProFLR.com is the website you'll go to for all information on what they have to offer, and 920-887-9972 is what you have to dial in your phone, and you'll get one of them on to have a conversation about the future of your kitchen, your bathroom, or something related to interior design. And they'll get on the phone with you and be that guiding light for you. And then McKinstry's Home Furnishings, they're stocking a large selection of picture frame moldings, and conservation mattings and glass. You've got your needlework, family photos, framing those wedding pictures, oil paintings, wildlife prints, and award certificates. Best of all, you will be amazed at the low everyday prices. Corey Sparks filling in for Amy Hudson today here on Hometown Today. I am joined by the Beaver Dam Recreation Department. We have Administrator Janice Stevens and Recreation Supervisor Joan Hohenstein joining me for the second segment here, and we were talking about the various water activities that you can enjoy in the Beaver Dam area. I think Crystal Lake Beach is next on our list here.
Yes. Yeah. Crystal Lake Beach is a free opportunity for people to get out and enjoy that facility. We do provide lifeguards from 1 to 5 daily, weather permitting. But people can go out and enjoy that facility at their leisure as well. And we talked earlier about the splash pad and how popular that is. But the beach is very popular with a lot of people as well. So we encourage people to get out. It's located at the corner of Highway 33 and Crystal Lake Road.
Awesome. And speaking of getting on the water, there are watercraft rentals at Waterworks Park. I'm excited about this one because I've gone on a couple vacations with friends. We'll get an Airbnb and there's a lake nearby, and sometimes the homeowners will leave kayaks. And I miss doing that. I don't want to just do that once or twice a year, and it sounds like I don't have to wait. Looks like there are rentals for kayaks, canoes, stand-up paddle boards. How frequently, or I guess how long can you rent those for?
So we're open daily.
Okay,
Monday
awesome.
through Friday, or Monday through Sunday. Monday through Thursday, it's open from 10 to 6. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's open 9 to 7. So a little bit longer on the weekends. And you can rent a stand-up paddleboard, a kayak, or a canoe, or any combination for 1 hour, for half day, or for a full day. So a half hour is $15. A half day is $25, and a full day is $35. Very reasonable, and that's per craft. So if you had a family coming for a canoe ride, you pay that fee, and however many people you can get in your canoe, it covers. But if you like to go kayaking, as you said, you can also get a season pass. It's only $40 for the whole season, which is the end of May through the end of August. So that is very popular.
That is
for
well worth
people.
it. $40 for the whole season.
Exactly. Okay. And it's so nice because you don't have to store the equipment, you don't have to haul the equipment, and especially if you think you might want to buy equipment, it's good to try it first.
Right.
Too. So yeah, it's a really good deal. And yeah, we are not open if the wind is above 15 miles an hour.
Understandable.
So you might see a very sunny day and show up at Waterworks Park and wonder why the watercraft rental garage is not open, but that would be why, because it's not safe if it's too windy. But we do encourage people to go into the wind first so that you can kind of coast back and not
when
go
fatigue sets in. Yep.
not go the easy way and then you can't get back again. But yeah, so watercraft rental is always there for you. Come out and play.
Well, that's a great option. You're saying $40 for the whole. That blows my mind, just for a kayak, because I've looked at like a Dunham's or a Dick's Sporting Goods or a Shields. And those are like $300 or $400, and I'm here talking about how I enjoyed the one time I do it a year. But it's like, if I spend $400, I better use that every single day. But before I do that, I better figure out how much I really like this thing. So
Exactly.
it's a great way to do it.
Exactly.
Boat launch user fees. It looks like there's new self-registration stations. They're accepting cards now. Looks like that's the big change.
Yeah, and that's over at Waterworks Park as well.
Okay.
And yeah, so you pay with your credit card. If you want to pay cash or check, you would need to go to City Hall during business hours. But otherwise, it's a nice automated system now. So
Waterworks, Tahoe, and Edgewater, anywhere we have boat launches
Awesome.
in the city.
That is super convenient. And then there's a life jacket loaner board station. Kind of how do those work, I guess, in general, in terms of getting those?
So that is something new in the last couple of years at Tahoe Park. We have the Life Jacket Loaner Board Station. It's geared mainly toward kids. It's called the Kids Don't Float Life Jacket Loaner Board Program. And I want to make sure that I recognize everyone who is involved with this, so I'm going to look at my notes. But this is a partnership between the Waupun Outdoor Club, Wisconsin DNR, Bureau of Law Enforcement, and various partners, including the city of Beaver Dam, to make this available. But they are free to anyone if they get to the lake and they realize that they don't have enough life jackets or they don't have the right sizes. Those life jackets are available at a station for free. So to use for the day or however long they're out, and then to put them back. And the group, the Waupun Outdoor Club, checks on them regularly to make sure that everything's maintained in a safe manner, et cetera.
That's awesome, because I'm sure there's scenarios where a family goes out there and, like you said, maybe the kid grew a decent amount from age 8 to 9 and it doesn't fit anymore. And it's like, well, the two alternatives are you tough it out with that, which you should not do because then it's not effective, or you have to make whatever the drive was back and buy a new one, and then maybe the whole day is thrown out. But that's just, an asset that people have on site there, and it's supervised too, which is great.
Right.
Awesome. Various youth camps around the area. This is something I did not know. What different options are there in that regard?
So we have many programs for the youth in the summertime.
Okay.
And currently this week, excuse me, is the science camp is happening, which is just a way for all of our camps are held in the park, which people love because it's summer, get outside.
Yep.
And our staff comes, they are just crackerjack. They're great people that we hire and make it fun to do projects, be in the park, and you might even learn something. So the art camp is coming up on July 15th for the 7 to 9-year-olds, and then August 12th for the 10 to 12-year-olds. And the art camp is held at the Dodge County Center for the Arts. We partner with them, and artist Mary Lynn Katzma is the instructor for that. Very fun event. We had the 4 to 6-year-olds had their camp in June, and they just get to experience projects with all kinds of different mediums, clay and feathers and fibers and paints and chalk and all kinds of dabble in things that you don't always get to play with, and make some fabulous art projects. And then at the end of their week, there's a gallery show. So the setting for the art camp is in the Dodge County Center for the Arts Gallery, which is nice that they're immersed in an art setting. Mm-hmm. But then at the end of the week, they get to have their items on display.
That's awesome.
And the community is welcome to come in and walk through the show and see all the projects that they made, which is really kind of a special thing for those little artists.
That's great. And just like keeping the kids occupied too. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No.
Oh, I thought you had something. Sorry. But with the art camp and just like the different, I guess, activities in general, I remember in summer when I was like just waiting, August would roll around and I'm like, I haven't done anything in like 6 or 7 or 8 weeks. Like I'm kind of bored of just sitting at home. So this really gives the kids a chance to go out and, occupy themselves.
Yeah. And the camps are 1 week. So it's typically an afternoon or a morning, couple hours that it doesn't drag out through the summer and you don't have to plan around it. It's during a week, and then you have the rest of the summer to do your other activities. And we have a nature camp coming up July 22nd, which is for ages 4 through 12. So they're divided 4 to 6, 7 to 9-year-olds, and 10 to 12-year-olds are all at different times. But they go through the park, discover different things about nature, make projects, play games, and just do the things kids are supposed to do in summertime. Yeah. And then if you need to make sure you don't get brain fog through the summer, we also have 2 STEM based camps coming up. We partner with Youth Enrichment League, and we will be offering summer chess camp and robotics. And it's just so much fun to see these kids in chess. They come and play, they learn all different strategies, and through puzzles and lessons, they learn 60 plus different things, different lessons, and they have guided games. And then at the end of the week, they also have an in-class tournament. Ooh. And they just beam and are so excited because many of them play with their parents. I ask them, why are you here? Why do you want to play chess? And they have somebody in the family or other friends that play chess, so they want to learn more about it. And then there's also the robotics camp, which boggles my mind because we didn't have this stuff when I was a kid.
Right,
but
yeah.
They have laptops and they program these little cars, and there's race cars and there's little dragsters and different things. So they build them, they program them, and then they get to drive them around and race. And it's just mind-boggling what they learn. Yeah. But it's a lot of problem solving, teamwork. So it's not all fun. Like I said, you might learn something at camp.
Right. Keeps the gears turning.
But it does. And it builds a great community, and the kids just look forward to these different camps throughout the summer.
And then under youth programs, I'm seeing a kids-only flea market. That's the first I've heard of that, and that sounds awesome.
It is awesome. It is. So the kids, this is our second year doing that, but we thought, you get lots of treasures stacked up in the closets over the years, and why not let the kids have their own little flea market? The kids have to do their pricing, their merchandising of their table, and then even the dickering of prices, they
like
can
economics right there. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Exactly. So there's no cost to have a table, but we do ask that they register so we know who to expect. Okay. But it's at Swan Park. The next one is this Thursday night, and then there's another one in August, but it's from 5 to 6:30 p.m., and it's kind of to the east of the splash pad, where the flat area there, and the vendors just set up their tables, and they can sell used toys, gently used toys, just things they don't want anymore. We've had bikes and all kinds of different things there, but it's a nice way for them to earn some money to buy some update their toy supply, and clean out a little bit.
Well, that's cool. That's a little different from your run-of-the-mill lemonade stand, because now you're, like you said, you're digging into older items. Maybe there's something in the garage you haven't used for 6 months or a year, and it's like, if I part ways with this and this, I can get this.
Exactly.
So that's pretty cool stuff.
And we also have some entrepreneurs come. There's some people who make jewelry and different crafts that they sell as well. They cannot sell baked goods, but or food items. But yeah, if they have crafts they set up their little shop.
Awesome. And then the fastest growing sport in America right now, pickleball, there's a chance for the next generation to kind of step in and start to learn those fundamentals, it looks like.
Right. And we have found many kids stop by the park being interested in seeing the adults play pickleball and asking about it, and the adults hand off their paddles and show them the different techniques and things. But so we're offering a class for the kids so that they can either learn how or hone their skills so that they're ready to play with each other and family members. So yeah, pickleball is for all ages, so we're making sure they all know the rules and how to play.
Awesome. That sounds like a great opportunity for some extra fitness, maybe some summer PE type of thing, and there's plenty of fitness programs for all ages. We are going to step aside for a quick break, but then when we come back, we'll talk about those fitness programs with Janice Stevens. I'm also here with Recreation Supervisor Joan Hohenstein from the Beaver Dam Rec Department. This is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. to Hometown Today here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. We do have Randy Warmka on the line very quickly from Professional Floor Coverings. Randy, how are you doing? Awesome. Good to have you on here. Plenty going on at Pro FLR. Anything in particular in July that you kind of want to highlight here as maybe someone is looking to refurbish the kitchen or clean up the bathroom or just really work on their interior design in general and freshen things up?
Yeah, July is the month. If you are thinking about doing your bathroom or thinking about doing your kitchen, now would be the time to get it planned so we could get it in yet this fall before the weather turns on us.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff going on here. We actually have quartz countertops with a free sink. We have that special going. I think there's a choice of 3 or 4 different sinks. We have a bunch of LVP on sale. I believe there's some hardwood on sale. So no matter what you want, I'm sure we can find something that's going to hit the price point that you're looking for.
And then you guys have a very unique division, too, in that you have Pro Edge Sharpening. That's a division of Professional Floor Covering where you can sharpen anything with an edge. I'm thinking scissors, saw blades, for your outdoorsy events, knives, mower blades. If someone has something that's looking kind of dull, they can take it in and use your service.
Absolutely. I'm looking at a whole stack of chainsaw blades here. Might be a little warm to be cutting wood, but it's really tough to do with a dull blade.
Absolutely, and if someone is looking to get that done, I'm sure it depends on how busy you are, but what would the turnaround time kind of be?
Usually less than a week, just a couple of days. A week max. I had a lady bring a lawnmower blade in yesterday. I've got it right here in my hand. I'm about to call her when I'm done with you and tell her it's ready. We don't always have it that quick, but a couple of days usually is all it takes.
Awesome. And I'm looking here at the many details of Professional Floor Covering. Of course, everybody can find you at proflr.com or give you guys a call at 920-887-9972, like I'm talking to you on the phone right now. Under kitchens, it says draw it up so you can look at it. It's a real customizable experience, and then obviously you guys are the experts. You're kind of the guiding light from there, and you help really customize everyone's dream kitchen.
Yeah. Take some measurements where your windows are, where your doors are. Then we'll design the kitchen, lay it all out for you, and then show you some CAD drawings that'll show you exactly what it's going to look like. You can say, yeah, I like it. No, let's change this. Real simple to get it all planned out. Gives you a look of what it's going to look like before it's installed, which I think is really, really helpful.
Yeah, you're letting everyone kind of, fully indulge in that full experience. They're not just saying, I want this, let's see how it ends up being. You're helping with that planning stage and everything, too.
Yeah, everybody knows what they want, but whether it's going to fit in there or not is the big question. That's why taking the measurements and laying it out in your kitchen is the important part. Make sure it's going to fit.
Absolutely. Well, Randy, you are over at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. I want to make sure we get everything in here. Anything else you want to highlight about Pro Floor before we jump off?
That should be it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for your time, Randy. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, and we are back here with the Beaver Dam Rec Department. We have Janice Stevens, Administrator, and Joan Hohenstein, the Recreation Supervisor. We were just talking about pickleball, a pretty good fitness activity. There are a lot of other fitness activities that individuals can participate in at the Watermark, though.
Yes, we have several different fitness classes, a couple of strength and conditioning classes, strength and mobility, as well as strong bodies. We offer active adult exercise, a couple of different kinds of yoga classes. One is a chair yoga, the other is a gentle or graceful yoga. We even offer aerial yoga for kids. So lots of opportunities, and the best way to learn about those is to take a look at our Community Center Courier. It's our program guide that we publish every other month, and those are always available at the Watermark, as well as the library, the grocery stores in town, City Hall, and a handful of other businesses around the community. So all the details are in there, and we always welcome people. If they're not quite sure that a class would be right for them, they can try it once for free. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we have the Watermark Walkway. That is a walkway around the perimeter of our building inside that is available to people while we are open Monday through Friday. And it's a great way for people to get in their steps. Some people use it all the time, no matter what the weather conditions. Other people like to use it when it's hot and humid or rainy out. And so if you haven't heard about the Watermark Walkway, you might want to check that out too.
And Jana, I really like how you highlighted there is something for everyone. Even in the compartment or the category of fitness programs, you have the active adult exercise, you've got strength and mobility. But then, like you said, with the aerial yoga classes, there's children that can try that out and really, find a different way to stay active still.
Right.
That is awesome. And then introductory square dances. That sounds like a ton of fun. What are the good details on that and how people can get signed up and when to do it by?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to use another word that we've used a lot today. We're partnering with the Swingin' Beavers,
awesome.
A local group of square dancers. They do offer lessons during the year and have their group dances throughout the year. But we're partnering with them to offer a free try it to learn how to square dance. That is on Sunday, August 11th, and it's from 1 to 4 at the Watermark. And people can call the recreation department, stop in the Watermark just to let us know they're interested, or drop in. We always recommend that if you want to come by yourself, great, but grab a friend to try it out, and there's nothing to lose. And might be a great opportunity to get some exercise, meet new friends, and socialize. But that is, again, a free opportunity on Sunday, August 11th, from 1 to 4 at the Watermark, and try it out.
I like that it's on a Sunday, too. For parents and guardians, you might be working Monday to Friday. There is time on a Sunday just to go, drop the kids off, see if they want to try something new, and it's at no cost. That's awesome.
Yeah, and thanks for mentioning all ages. It is all for all ages, awesome. Adults and kids.
You can do it with them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. All ages.
Awesome. And then we were mentioning pickleball at the youth level before. There's also a lot to look forward to in terms of new, renovated pickleball courts. I mean, state of the art for the whole community to enjoy.
Yes, we are currently working on building our new pickleball courts at the athletic field, and we had 4. I believe we had 6. We're going to have 9. We will for sure have 9 pickleball courts, and they will be state of the art. It's being brought to Beaver Dam by donors. So this is over 90 people have donated. Wow. Money they see the value of this fast growing sport that's for all ages, and it's just amazing the people that stop by, and young and old, just neighborhood people, everybody. It's not a club. This is open to everybody, and if you're not sure how to play, you can stop by and ask. There are great YouTube videos out if you want to just kind of get a pre-course just so you know the language and things and what to expect. But this is brought to you by, it will be the J.M. Kassenmeyer Pickleball Courts. And we want to just acknowledge that family for such a large donation to help the community have such a wonderful facility. And we're still accepting donations, even though we have enough to build the courts. Mm-hmm. But if people still want to contribute, there are opportunities for benches, shade, landscaping, a water filling station, and so lots of extra amenities that weren't in the original plans. But while that is being built, you can still play pickleball over at Lakeview, which is on Burnett, Lakeview Park. There's an equipment box, so you can go anytime the park is open between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. and take the nets out of the equipment box, set them up, and then just nicely fold them and put them back in the box. But it is just going to be a wonderful facility. Hopefully it will be open by the end of August.
Oh, wow. That's super soon.
Very soon.
Well, that's just great to have. There's a fine line between just a court or 2 courts and then possibly something like a complex where you could host, for those who are more serious about it. Obviously, it's open to everyone. You could host tournaments here. There's a lot of different courts at the same time, different matches going on, and you can really bring the community together when you host a big event like that.
Yep, we're looking forward to doing that too, because our people go out of town to play at other cities, so it will be fun to be able to host other cities to come here.
Awesome. And pickleball, it's great for the youth, it's great for adults. And Jana, there's a great adult travel opportunity coming up. Well, there's a lot of them, but one of them, a Brewers game in a couple of weeks against the Braves.
Yes. So the date is Wednesday, July 31st, and today is the deadline to register. And we have just a few seats left on the bus. So if people are out there listening and they want to join us when the Milwaukee Brewers play the Atlanta Braves on Wednesday, July 31st, they can call us at 920-887-4639 or stop by the Watermark and get registered for that tour. For $89, they will enjoy a motor coach tour bus, a light lunch of Jimmy John's before the game, as well as great seats. We have a great location that we choose every year, and so it's going to be a wonderful day. And also want to mention that we have several other day trips and extended tours that we offer throughout the year. We're already planning into 2025 for our extended tours, and people can get more information about that in our community center courier. And again, stopping by the Watermark, we have all the detailed brochures on those things.
Awesome. So I'm seeing 4 p.m. at the office would be the deadline if you want to go physically purchase the tickets. Otherwise, if you're in the online portal, permitting that there's seats left, you have until like 11:59, but the sooner the better.
Yeah, correct.
Awesome. Swan Park renovation project, we were kind of talking about this before with the splash pad and how there's a bigger picture here. There's a lot on the horizon, it looks like.
Yes, yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, we the phase 3 is focused on the bandshell, the amphitheater area, and we are calling that campaign "Keep the Music Going" at Swan Park. And everyone has a story about Swan Park. If they've spent any time, whether they've lived in Beaver Dam all their lives or just a short time, that park has so many different features and holds so many memories for people. But the bandshell is truly unique. It was built in the 1930s. It was modeled after other similar bandshells in the country. Was definitely state of the art at the time, and it is still a very solid structure. We're not looking to replace that structure, but to renovate it and to just make it the best that it can be and to preserve that history of the bandshell. And the amphitheater area, we have wooden bench seating there, and it's been replaced and repaired over the years, but it truly is, it's a big expense to maintain that. It's also not that comfortable. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people like to bring their own lawn chairs these days, so most of that, all of the benches that are there right now are going to be removed, and they will be replaced by some in the front. That will be comfortable and provide seating for people near the bandshell itself. But then the green space will be created for people to bring their own lawn chairs. If they want to bring blankets and sit on blankets, they'll be able to do that. And so that's really the big focus of this next phase. We are already getting some significant donations. We encourage donations of all sizes, whether it's small or large. Every little bit helps to make this dream come true, and look forward to that. So, and people can contact us at the Recreation Department for more information on making donations.
That is awesome. So the bandshell itself has been there since the 30s. I mean, you could do the math. There's probably grandparents and great-grandparents who remember different performances there, and now maybe, their son or grandson or granddaughter or niece or nephew is is playing there now in a summer concert performance, and it's good to see the communities taking that initiative to make sure it's still structurally sound and the seating situation's comfortable too.
Right.
That is awesome. And then I see the last thing we have here, pretty related, music in the park for summer in Beaver Dam.
Yeah, that gives us a great segue for music in the park. We do have 2 different concert series in Beaver Dam. One is called Wednesday Night Live. It's Wednesday nights at Swan Park at the Band Shell. We kicked that off in June and have had a few concerts already. We have one coming up tomorrow night, and tomorrow night is July 10th, and the Bird Dog Blues Band will be playing. They're a blues band out of the Dane County area. They were in Beaver Dam for the first time last year. They were really well received and kind of added a different twist to the offerings. We also have Tony Rocker, our very favorite Elvis tribute artist, Eric Diamond, Neil Diamond tribute artist. The Beaver Dam Community Band is playing again at the end of July, and we're capping things off with hometown legend Eddie Rivers, aka Mark Malik, with the Wurlitzer Kings on August 7th. So, and it's not just concerts on Wednesday nights. We offer kids' activities and activities for the whole family. We have giant games that anyone can play. We sell popcorn and bottled water, and just it's a great community atmosphere. So that's Wednesday Night Live, and Jam by the Dam is another concert series that we offer at Tahoe Park. That's Friday nights, and those are once a month. We've already had one in June. We'll have another coming up on July 26th. The Crankin' Yankees will be here on Friday, July 26th, and August 23rd, we will cap things off with Poverty and Panic.
That is awesome. I'm noticing in Beaver Dam, I mean, this is really a community that embraces the outdoors when it comes to music. Obviously, you can go indoors to certain bars or venues and enjoy music that way. But when it's warm, I mean, Thirsty Beaver has individuals out there from Thursday through Sunday. You've got Best Damn Music Fest coming up, and now we have Music in the Park, the 2 concert series to enjoy as well at various spots. And just, you make a whole event out of it. You can bring your family, you can bring your friends. There's food to enjoy if you've got kids. That box is checked off too. It sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. For both Jam by the Dam and Wednesday Night Live, and our goal is to be outside for the concerts, but we do have a backup plan for
Awesome.
both concert series. For the Wednesday Night Live, I want to give a shout out to the Beaver Dam School District. They allow us to use their high school auditorium.
Oh, awesome.
If the weather is inclement, we have to move inside and Jam by the Dam. A shout out to the Dodge County Fair Association for letting us use the fairgrounds, one of the buildings there for the Jam by the Dam concerts if we have to move inside.
That's awesome. So it truly is rain or shine. If inclement weather comes in, there's alternate venues that you can use. So that is awesome. And it looks like there's a lot to look forward to this summer. That's already underway. I can't believe we're in July. But Janice Stevens, the administrator, and Recreation Supervisor Joan Hohenstein from the Beaver Dam Recreation Department, thank you both so much for coming on and really informing everyone, myself included, about the happenings of Beaver Dam for the next few weeks.
Thanks for having us.
All right, this has been Hometown Today. It is presented to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings and Professional Floor Covering over at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. ProFLR.com. 920-887-9972 is the number you will call. Corey Sparks filling in for Amy Hudson today. We'll see you again tomorrow from 9 to 11 on Hometown Today. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV.